How do you improve your English listening? Lots of my students tell me that the main problem they have with learning English is listening. Even when they start getting comfortable in the classroom, talking to people outside of a classroom setting is another story. In today's video, let's talk about some ways that you can improve your English. So are you ready to find out what you can do to get better at your English listening skills? If so, then let's get into it. Are you able to talk with your friends in English? One of the best things that I found for learning Japanese was talking to my basketball teammates in Japanese. We all had a love for the game, so I really had an interest in being able to talk to them on the court about what we needed to do to get better. And you can do the same thing with English. So are there any hobbies that you have that you can do in English? Do you have friends around you that you can talk to in English? A good thing about talking with friends is that they can help you directly and indirectly with learning English. Most likely, if you have a good friend, they're going to tell you when you get something wrong in English. And other times, just by their reaction, you're going to figure out that what you are listening to and maybe responding to was wrong. A lot of the times, we just do better when we're trying to avoid embarrassment. Also, the more that you can expose yourself to listening to lots of English, you're just going to get more and more comfortable with being able to pick up what you're hearing. And you'll start to notice that there's lots of patterns and phrases that are going to come up over and over again when you're speaking and listening. And once you start picking these up, it's going to be easier and easier for you to start picking up more and more as you listen. Instead of you memorizing long lists of verbs and other vocabulary, it's going to be much better if you can start to pick up full expressions. I always think that it's much better to learn phrases and not just words. Of course, we do all need to know new vocabulary, but how many times have you come across a situation where you have the word, you knew the word, but you just couldn't recall it when you needed it? By learning expressions, you're going to be learning vocabulary and also the context as well. This will help you to pick up what people are saying easier, and it's also going to help you improve your speaking as well. And most native speakers use lots of expressions when they talk. It just sounds a lot more natural and adds to the overall personality of that speaker. So when you start to hear something such as, "It's a blessing in disguise," you're going to know that there's something bad that happened now, but it's going to lead to something greater in the future. And what you can do is try Googling list of popular expressions, and you'll find pages and pages of them. Let me know in the comments down below if you'd be interested in a video all about English expressions. Did you know there's another great way to improve your listening? Listening to native speakers with a variety of different accents, it's going to help you develop a correctness for how to use grammar. I'm from the US, so maybe if you've listened to any of my videos before, you've gotten comfortable listening to my voice. But there are so many different accents in the world that you don't want to focus on just one when it comes to listening. Even people from countries that aren't considered traditionally English speaking have their own unique ways of using the English language. Try to expose your ear to as many as possible, and this is really going to help you a lot when it comes to improving your listening. Sometimes I've had students tell me that they can understand me just fine, but they get into trouble when they start listening to other English speakers. Make sure you avoid this by listening to a lot of different media from a lot of different locations, such as TV, podcasts, YouTube videos, movies, music that are spoken by a lot of different types of English speakers. If you are comfortable with listening to lots of different accents, did you know that there's something else that you can do to improve your listening skills? Reading English out loud is really going to be a great way for you to improve your English listening skills. Reading newspapers or magazines, scripts, or anything in English out loud is going to help you really improve your pronunciation without worrying too much about the overall grammar. My children always had to read out loud in their earlier years of elementary school. You start to pick up the natural rhythm of the language, which makes it easier when it comes to you listening to someone else speaking. I remember thinking that Japanese had no pauses or breaks when I first got here, but once I was more comfortable with the Japanese language, everything kind of started to slow down for me. You can notice the different intonation shifts, the different pauses, where people were rising with their voice, where people were getting lower, and it really benefited how I was able to listen to other Japanese speakers. Reading out loud is going to help you be able to do the same thing when you're listening to English. But just reading out loud is not the only thing that you need to do to improve your English. Consistency is key. Try to surround yourself with English in active and passive ways. Sometimes you can have the TV or the music on in the background as a way to passively listen to English. I used to always have the TV on in the background when I was doing other things, and after a while I was able to pick out some different patterns and different things that I thought I was hearing. Then I can go back, look those up on my electronic dictionary. Now I would just use my smartphone or Google Translate or something like that. But it was just an easy way for me to pick out what I thought I was hearing, look it up in the dictionary, and confirm that I do understand more than I think I do. Also, the more that you can use English, you're just going to be more comfortable in general hearing other people use it. You'll just put yourself in more situations that you'll be ready for when they come up again. So, which of these ideas are you guys going to try using today? And are there any of these ideas on today's list that you've tried out before? I hope these really give you some good ideas about how to get started improving your English listening. If you're at all interested in improving your English fluency, then how about check out this video right here. See you.